All right, short video on section 1.2, couple of examples from our homework, or not exactly the same ones you're doing for homework, but very similar to the ones you'll see on your homework. So first thing is difference tables. You're asked to find the next number in the list, very similar to what we did in section 1.1. In 1.1, we just used inductive reasoning and we looked for a pattern. Now you can probably see the pattern here, but we want to go through this difference table approach, which will work even if you can't see a pattern in the initial list. So what we're doing is we're just taking the difference between each of the two numbers. So draw a couple of branches and say the difference between 10 and 10 is 0. A couple of branches here, the difference between 10 and 12 is 2. The difference between 12 and 16 is 4, and so on. Difference between 16 and 22, difference between 22 and 30. And you're going to do this until you get a row that has the same number all the way across. All right, so you can probably see this is going to happen in our next row. The difference between 0 and 2 is 2. The difference between 2 and 4, also 2. The difference between 4 and 6, and the difference between 6 and 8. But once you get that row of all the same number, now you're just going to work your way back up, right? Think about this. What we're really doing is saying 0 plus 2 equals 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 plus 2 equals 6. 6 plus 2 equals 8. Well, now we're going to add 1 here, another 2, and say 8 plus 2 to give us the next number in that row above the 2's. And then we do the same thing here to get our answer. 30 plus 10 gives us our answer of 40. All right, so that's an example of a difference table. All right, so let's do one more of these, just to show that sometimes you got to go down a few rows. Be careful. It's really an exercise in paying attention to details, doing one thing at a time, checking your work to make sure it's correct, and then working your way back up to get the answer. All right, so let's look at also number 4. Same idea, just a different list of numbers. So for number 4, we have 0, 10, 24, 56. Wait, no, I'm mixing up numbers, sorry. 0, 10, 24, 56, 112, and 190. And then we're looking for that last, or the next number of the list. So we go through our process just like we did with the previous one. We take the difference. Here is 10. We take the difference here is 14. We take the difference here is 32. We take the difference here is 56. We take the difference here is 78. All right, obviously those are not the same numbers, so we go another line. Take the difference between 10 and 14. Take the difference between 14 and 32. Take the difference between 32 and 56. And take the difference between 56 and 78. All right, so now at this point, you're saying, wow, have I done everything right? Because they still don't have the same number. But check your work, just make sure. 0 plus 10, 10 plus 14 is 24, 24 and 32 makes sense, 56 and 56, 112 and 78. So we know we got that row right. 10 plus 4 is 14, 14 plus 18 is 32, 32 plus 24 is 56, 56 plus 22. All right, everything's right so far, even though it looks a little intimidating. Keep going. We just keep going. Now the difference between 4 and 18 is 14. Difference between 18 and 24 is 6. The difference between 24 and 22 is a negative 2. So now you're thinking, geez, what the hell is going on? Is it right? Well, 4 plus 14, yes, is 18. 18 and 6, yes. 24 plus a negative 2 Yeah, well, keep going, see what we get. Difference between 14 and 6 is a -8. And the difference between 6 and -2 is also -8. So finally, we have a row of the same numbers. All right, so realize it can go, quite a few rows until you get that same number. And just like we did before, we're going to work our way back up. We're going to say, just like 14 plus -8 is 6, and 6 plus -8 is -2. We're going to extend that one more and say -2 plus a -8 gives us a -10. And then we're going to continue our way up. All right? 4 plus 14 is 18. 18 plus 6 is 24. 24 plus a -2 is 22. 22 plus a -10 is 12. And continuing, just like 10 plus 4 is 14. 14 and 18 is 32. 32 and 24 is 56. 56 and 22 is 78. 78 and 12 is 90. And finally, last step, 190 plus 90 gives us our answer of 208. All right, so that was a little bit more involved difference table. But as you can see, you work your way down till you get that row with the same numbers, and then you work your way up one row at a time to get your answer of 280. All right, so those are difference tables. So another concept you want to see and understand in this section is something where you have, this is called an nth term formulas. Right, so you're given a formula and it works for any number n. Okay, so n is a number. And you're going to plug in numbers into this expression and get results. We'll do a couple of these to show what we're talking about. So the book, I think, asks for the first 5. I'll do the first 3 here for each one just to save a little time. So you're being asked to plug in the numbers 1, 2, and 3. Again, in the book, it's 1 to 5. I'm just saving a little bit of time. So all you're doing is saying, okay, I'm going to plug in 1 into this formula. So a sub 1, we call this a sub n, a sub 1. And then we're just plugging in a 1 everywhere we see an n. So 1 over 1 plus 1, and we get our answer of 1/2. And we do that for the numbers 2 and 3. We put in 2, we get 2 over 2 plus 1, or 2/3. We put in 3, we get 3 over 3 plus 1, or 3/4. All right, and you can plug any number into that formula and get the a sub whatever number you're throwing in. And just to illustrate a second example of that same question, the different expression, again, we'll do n1, 2, and 3. We put 1 in here. You're putting a 1 everywhere you see an n. And then you're evaluating that expression. Remember your order of operations: exponents before multiplication, multiplication before subtraction. So here we're looking at 2 times 1 cubed, which gives us 2 times 1. 1 squared is 1, so we get 2 minus 1, or 1. If we plug in 2 to that formula, we're going to get 2 times 2 cubed minus 2 squared. 2 cubed is 8, right? 2 times 2 times 2. 2 squared is 4. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 minus 4 gives us our answer of 12. We put 3 in. We're getting 2 times 3 cubed minus 3 squared. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, so that's 27. 3 squared is 9. 2 times 27 is 54. 54 minus 9 gives us 45. All right, again, you can plug in any number you want into those formulas and evaluate them. All right, so that's section 1.2.